to me, the concept of green has to be all-inclusive with sustainability and your lifestyle habits, including all of the gardening that we do, so that we're trying to produce as much of what we need, whether it be in food or for visual enjoyment on our property, and the ability to reduce energy consumption by using high-tech windows, by extra insulation, by airlocks in the main entranceway going into the house. We have the solar microfit installation system where we're producing energy. All of these different things I feel as being a component of living more sustainably, more green, if you will. I tend to take a look at all of the things that I purchase from the point of view of, is it using the materials and was it produced as efficiently as possible? And we tend to buy things for longevity, so we're willing to pay an extra dollar for many of the different things if we feel that we can get an extra few years of use out of them before, in this world of instant replaceability of all of our widgets, before we have to replace things. Well, the home to us is our property. It's not the physical building, but if we deal with the physical building as the house, then years ago I was working with the Office of Energy Conservation, and we were looking at how to efficiently either include or exclude sunlight from the house so that we could either reduce our heating load or reduce the need to have air conditioning. So I have unequal eaves on the north and, well, our house is more positioned southeast than southwest. So on those two faces of the house, I have unequal eaves in order to allow the winter sun to come in and exclude the sun in the summer to try to reduce the heat gain in the house. Being in the country, we have to depend on wells, and when we moved here we had one well that would go dry in the middle of the summer, and so we had to be very conscious of our water consumption. And early on we used wood heat as our principal source of heat, and I did all of the bucking of the wood and cutting it up into stove cord sizes. Again, that was part of my contribution to my green lifestyle. And then on the outside, in terms of the gardens, originally we had a lot of vegetable gardens that we were using as our food source, doing a lot of food preserving, baking, whatnot. Carol's a wonderful cook, and she loves to be able to just go to the gardens and pick things as needed fresh. And we have come back to vegetable gardening again in this phase of our life after we have closed our nursery that we ran for 25 years of growing and selling ornamental plants for the people in Ottawa, largely, with our client base. There's a problem to be solved. It is part of the reason why I undertake the different projects of, oh, I don't have the right widget, or oh, this material isn't suitable, or the location of what I'm trying to do is not quite what I thought, so that I'm looking at solar orientation and wind protection on the property. So those have all been surprises. In the gardening world, there are way too many plants being sold in the Ottawa area that are not hardy in this area, but that's a consumer-driven supply and demand thing more than anything else. So part of my life has been doing garden education, trying to talk by using the extensive display gardens that are on the property as testimony to the fact that either something is doing well or oh, I lost that 2 or 3 times in my life. The growing zone information on the label is inappropriate for, let's say, the clay soil that we have here. The plant was more intended to be in a well-drained acidic soil, and what we have is a poorly drained basic to neutral soil that is not appropriate for, I'm going to say, 50% of the plants that are on the market. So those types of surprises are an everyday occurrence to me of living and learning. I think that one of the nice comments that I heard just a while ago had to do with how does one become an expert? And the example was of a pianist who was preparing to give a recital, and how many hundreds or thousands of times they would go over that piece in order to appreciate all the nuances of the music and to get the cadence right. And as a gardener, we only have about 35 to 40 times that we can practice in order to get our art right. Just the nature of, that's about how many years each of us are able to give to an active gardening phase of, from marriage until the point when where our body says, no more!
Yeah.
So that, yeah, the surprises are ones of not having people be able to direct me, or it takes too long to find an experienced article or something that would have saved me time and material and income. Be prepared to spend a good deal of your life looking after property like this. In the phase where we had the nursery, I actually had staff that I could point to the needs of the gardens and be more involved as a manager. At this stage, I'm finding that it's almost a 5-day-a-week, 6-hour-a-day chore of maintaining what we have. But I don't find it a chore. I find it an activity that is allowing me to stay mobile and keep the mental cells firing on all cylinders as I go about the property, sort of with fond memories of plants lost and the joy of plants that are coming through another season. It's more of making it a green lifestyle. It's a philosophical choice. At the stage that Carol and I decided that it was time to settle down and have family, we decided that we'd be a one-income family. So therefore, as consumers, we had to back off on our consumption levels, and we had to make more of our own things. So one becomes handier, whether Carol's handier in the kitchen or whether I'm handier with tools inside or outside. We were able to do it with Carol on one salary. She was a teacher, so she had the benefits that went along with the job. And I was able to very easily find ways to spend the available money on building up the nursery. And when we decided to wind down the nursery, that then provided the income for us to put up the solar system, so that over the number of years we've not had to, or we refrained from borrowing a lot of money. We got along on the available money for doing the projects, so nothing was done in a grand design and one big push of activity. Everything has been a series of progressive small projects in order to get where we are. Well, I think it goes back to the lifestyle that you choose. You get lucky, or you work very hard at creating a family that enjoys living together, being together, aiming towards the same future. I see that as being job number one of maintaining family connections over any other activity that we do. So we've been fortunate in that Carol and I have been together 35 years. I've got 2 kids that are employed. One is in the horticultural industry, the other There's a pilot that didn't want to have anything to do with plants whatsoever. And then the other part is to learn how to live with less, because as you can see, while it may look as if we have a lot, in fact we don't have that many possessions. Some cupboards are bare. The food is always there, and the heat is always there from 3 different heating methods that we use for heating the house: electric and propane and solar.
Cool.